What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. This camera is so dirty. Welcome back. Today we are actually a little change of pace. Bruno is going to be getting put aside, and I need to get all of my father's stuff in here and go through all that. He's been bothering me like crazy to do it, so I recruited some muscle here. The infamous Dan. You guys have met him a time or two.
Oh, I thought you meant Nash.
No. Nash is in his Carhartt, though.
He's ready to go to work here.
He's ready to go to work. He's got his Carhartt jacket on.
How long have you been sponsored by Carhartt anyway? 2 years now, I think? Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. So we're going to get my sled out of the way. We're going to put it in our gym area, and then we're going to start. I haven't showed you guys in this trailer yet. So take you out there. Stay. Go. So I already got it hooked up. No, of course not. So this is my old man's fleet. So I got to get these 5 and 6, including my sister's, in the garage. So I just got to do, pre-season maintenance on them, nothing crazy. Go through them, grease them, and then I would be shoving them back in the trailer, but my father's getting lights and heaters and lights on the back put in this thing, so the guy's coming this week to do that, so I can't throw them back in. So they actually have to take up my shop for the week. So it's going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt with 6 other sleds being in there. I don't even know if I could fit all of them in there yet. So, but we're going to drive them out here, and then they could only go this far because, as you can see, we got a whole new driveway that we can't drive on. So they're going to have to sit here and then put dollies under them, and we're gonna roll them around. Like I said, we gotta move the truck out of the way, but so that's what we're gonna do now, and that's it.
5 for 5? 5 for 5?
And just like that, all 6 are ready to go. Not that Ski-Doo, that's blown up. That's just sitting out there.
There's 6 in there. I called 5 for 5. That's 6.
Well, 6, Chrissy's was outside.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
But there's 6 that needs to go in the garage. Like I said, it's just little maintenance. Like, we got to put a heated shield plug on that. I'm going to recruit my buddy Jeff for that. That Articat needs a battery. Then just go through, grease them, normal stuff. We got a ton of dollies inside we'll go get, and then start rolling them in, see if we can fit them all.
Good luck.
We got all the sleds into the garage, as you saw. Packed house now, but I started kind of digging into a couple things. My sister's sled, which is that 800 Pro S, the one with the red tunnel, that needed a battery for sure. So I'm actually heading to a store that we have near us. There was one really close to us, that one closed, called Batteries Plus. They have batteries, believe it or not. But they do like 2-year warranties, I think, on the batteries, so you can't really beat it. Reasonably priced, so I go there, get a battery. If something happens, I bring it back. I've done it, can't say I've done it a couple times, but it's just nice to have that warranty with the battery. I also have another battery that I think I brought back to life, but they could test it, they could put it on some machine and draw from it and tell me if it's good or not. So I'm gonna just head over there. I'm actually in the little beater, the little Volkswagen. We got co-pilot Nash. He's sleeping per usual, but we're just cruising on down. I had to throw air in the tires of this because they were low. I haven't really driven it. Well, I guess I have, just around town, but so we are heading there and hopefully have a battery and go home and put it back in. Little wee bit of a wasted trip. The one battery that I thought was totally shot that I kind of brought back to life. He said that thing's good, ready to go. The sun is killing me right now. So that is good, ready to go. And then the battery out of my sister's sled. I could have swore I put a charge on that thing. Oh, and my co-pilot is not really my co-pilot anymore. He's a sleepy lapdog. His name is Carhartt. I could have swore I put a charge on her battery. I guess I didn't. I can't really remember now. But he went to go test it, and he's like, oh, well, it's not fully charged, so I can't test it. So I am heading back home, and I'm going to put that one on a charger now. The sun is brutal. So that was really it. That was a waste of a 20-minute trip one way, so 40-minute round trip, and then sitting in traffic and stuff. It was probably an hour of wasted time, but you live and you learn. Now I know where it is at least, so not too bad. So heading back to the shop. So we're back in the shop. I kind of been working, just chipping away at a lot of this stuff. I don't really go too in depth looking these things over. If these guys do 200 miles in a year, that is a boatload. This is my dad's sled here. He was brand new last year, and I just started it because I was interested to see how many miles they did last year. They did 70 miles. So I just go through, I grease them, I just check it, you know, kind of do a once over, give them a wipe down, and that's pretty much about it. There's a couple, like I said, new ones in the fleet. This one needed a battery. I've never worked on this chassis Arctic Cat before. Whoa. I am not impressed, to say the least. I know it's, you know, a more base-ish model. It's a little, I think it's a 550 fan or a 570 fan, sorry. But we got a new battery in that. I had to find it. It's in this side panel right there, which you can see. I did have a battery for that out of one of the jet skis that has been on the battery tender since summertime, well, since fall, I should say. So we threw that in there. That's all ready to go. That one, again, this is my sister's. It's a Pro S800, 2017, I believe. Doesn't have many miles on it either. That battery is currently on charge. It says it's taking a charge over there. I had to put air in my tires. It's a whole mess in here. So that battery is on charge. I'm hoping that that thing takes a nice charge and we'll get that in there. That is my brother's. That battery I already charged today. My father's, I have to charge his battery. Mom's battery was new last year, so that's all good to go. On the Axis chassis, I should say, to get to the battery, if you have electric start, they're in the same spot as what my VR1 is, but, and it's the same concept of how to get them out of here. So if I put the wires back where they belong and don't loop them in. So if you guys didn't know, you pop that little push pin out, which is now a T40 Torx on the VR1. That goes under that. You pop that one out. Once you lift that, there's one right there. And then you can pull this open like that and get to whatever damn leaves. So what I am gonna do on this, so this one has the recall, fuel line recall. That one has a fuel line recall. So does that one. I am not worried at all about that one. Like I just said, that thing has 70 miles, not like 10,070. It has 70, 7-0. So that thing, I don't even know why I brought it in here, to be brutally honest with you. Actually, I do, because that trailer had to be empty so they could get all the lights and everything done. So I'm gonna pull, and I don't know exactly what the recall is. I know it's a fuel line rubbing on something, and fuel lines are back ordered until January or something crazy like that. I'm not really sure. So this one has, I think under 1,000 miles on it too. I don't even think this thing has, this might actually have the most miles. Maybe I'll pull this one off. So we bought this one used last year. I think this one had like 1,800 miles on it or so. So I might pull that can off and just check that fuel line. Again, I'm not really that worried about it. They did 70 miles last year. Your dad's like, oh, I gotta go through it. And I'm like, Dad, I do 70 miles in an hour. So I promise you, your sleds are fine. But I like to make sure, they go riding in Lake George. I don't go with them. I went with them one time last year. It was like a end of the year trip. They just had enough snow. We actually had a really good time. We have a great time. They rent cabins up there. They rent a whole bunch of them. My uncle goes up with them. They really do have a good time. They go to Lake George, New York, which that's where I grew up riding. That's how I learned how to ride. That's where all this started. This whole mishmash of snowmobile started, and the family started riding. So right now, I think you have like 100 miles of trails, give or take. They have a Vermont connection that you could go to and everything like that. But I like going to Tug Hill where there's snow for the most part all the time. And you could really, you know, do some real riding. So they go up to Lake George. They have a good time. You know, they ride a couple hours a day, if that, you know, go get lunch or dinner or something like that. So again, you know, it's more of a hobby for them. They're getting the little guys going again. This is the one that I picked up at Ingalls. This is Noah's. You guys met little Noah. So that's his. And then this one, my dad picked up for my other nephew, Joey, last year. So now they both have, you know, big boy machines. So they're getting ready to ride. So, you know, getting them going. So that's really what they're into. So I like to get them set, top their fluids off, make sure the sleds are ready to go, batteries, everything like that. So when they get there, they don't have to worry about anything. They just go, start it, get on with their day. So I really got to decide if I'm going to take this can off, can, muffler, whatever you want to call it. There's a million different options to call. Probably going to do this one because I have to, I was just looking, whoever took this apart last, which is not me, didn't put this air box back in correctly. So I got to pull this one. I'll probably pull this one off just to check, see what it's like. So let me do that now, and then I'll get back with you guys. Okay, with some little bit of research on the World Wide Web, I found out exactly, or I can't say exactly, but kind of what their issue is. So on, get back in here, and my stand's over there, and I don't have time to do it. So they're worried about the fuel line coming from your fuel pump, which on the Axis is, and I don't know about the VR ones, up at the top of your tank. So these two lines right here, it's very hard for me to do this with. These two are your fuel lines. So they run back somewhere over there, and then they come back, and then you have two lines that run to your fuel rail. I don't know if one's a return, one's probably feed, one's a return. I'm not really sure. I don't know how these work. But pretty much, if you see how the air box is split like that, not split, but it's a two-piece box. So the hose, the one hose is rubbing on the back. Let me see if, I don't think I can get you guys in there. Actually, yeah, pretty clear as day right there. So there's one, and then there's two. This one, and what's happening is as it rides and it vibrates and bounces around, they're actually wearing a hole in the fuel line, and they're, well, then clearly leaking fuel. So what they're doing is, if there's, you know, wear marks on the fuel line, they're replacing the whole thing. Again, I don't have time to do it for all these. So this one has like a little indent on that line. It does. So I'm just going to zip tie it out of the way and pull those lines away from the air box, and it should be fine. I'm not too worried about it. Again, they're not huge mileage, you know, people. So, and then maybe at the end of the year, I'll drop all three of them off and they could all get done by the dealer. But for now, I guess, even if you pull them, because they're just sitting there, they're not really on anything. So if you just zip tie them out of the way, kind of down here, you know, maybe to this, I see if those lines go over there. I'll have to mess with it here in a little bit and kind of see what the best bet, but I'm thinking about zip tying. See how much movement there is? So I'll probably zip tie them again this way, out of the line or out of the way. Then it should give me some clearance back there, and then we'll throw this exhaust back on. This sled was actually a demo sled we got from Southside Polaris. It was a demo for Polaris themselves. I don't know if they let employees use them. I forget the whole deal behind it, but super nice deal with a warranty, you know, the whole shebang. So I'm gonna get in here, I'm gonna zip tie these things out of the way and move on to the next. All right, so I hope this helps some of you. I don't know if it's going to. I don't even know if you guys are gonna look at this or not. So what I did is I put a zip tie here. So holding this one, this is the one I think is the problem child. So it's gonna be the furthest back one and the lower one. So I zip tied it just to the coolant line, not super tight, just tight enough to get it, again, away from the air box. And then if you look back there, I don't know if you can see it, let me get something to point in there. See this zip tie? So again, also around the coolant bottle. So I snuck it in behind the coolant bottle, got around it, and then just pulled it far enough away. So if you look back in here now, we have room. This top one isn't going anywhere, and it's not really close enough to... I guess I could probably zip tie that one over too. Again, this, I don't know, I don't know if this is what Polaris is doing, but again, I know fuel lines are recalled. I know dealerships are just jam-packed with sleds and can't get in, so I'm gonna go through, again, 70-mile one, that thing could wait until the end of the year. That one I am gonna go through, I'll pop that exhaust off too and do that, but that is my kind of quick little fix here. And get back in here and see if I could do that top one too, because I don't want that top one rubbing either. See that? So I can get in there with another zip tie and move it. So now I got another one on there. Now we got plenty of clearance. So I'm happy with that. Again, it's not probably what Polaris is doing. I think they're replacing most of the fuel lines. Where's my garbage can? I got a mess here. It's crazy. So if you guys didn't know, I'm like a super duper neat freak, very organized. Everything needs to be in its like certain location. This like just cluster drives me up a wall. But I got to deal with it for a week or so until that trailer gets done. So my OCD needs to take a back seat. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the exhaust back on this one, and then I'm gonna go jump on that one and do the same thing. So 3 zip ties, a little bit of finagling to get it in there, and save your season, won't melt your sled down. So all that's probably a plus. So I just got this one apart, and I was wondering if they were gonna be any different. So this one's a 600, that's an 800, and that one's also a 6. 8 had about 1,000 miles. This has about 15-ish hundred on it. This one is super far away. So that's no zip ties. Oh, look at that. This one had a big zip tie up there. See that one? Holding those 2 fuel lines? That other one did not. And I guarantee you that was probably a big reason as to why that other one, now I'm interested. I don't think that one had that. Oh, it does have it, but it's way higher. Interesting. Yeah, like way higher. That one's like, that's probably the main reason why that other one was so up against the airbox. Well, look at that. Learn something new every single day. So now what I'm gonna do on that one, I'm just gonna pop the side panel off. I gotta check, I can't not check it. Now I gotta put this exhaust back in because I just pulled it out. I should have probably looked before I did that, but they're not too bad. They're only 4 springs. what are you gonna do, right? You live and learn. I thought this one, oh man, where, oh, there it is. I thought this one defeated me. That spring right there, got it all back together, and then ping, and it dropped down to the belly pan, and I was like, I am not taking all those other springs off to get to it. Luckily, I was able to fish it out with what I had here. Moment of truth. So this, why do I have this light in my hand now? Shut off. This battery wasn't fully charged. At least it didn't say that it was fully charged. But I wanted to see if it has some life in it. So this is kind of like moment of truth type stuff. Oh yeah. It's got some life in it. Uh-oh. So we'll keep that on charge all night. Hopefully that thing comes back to life. But other than that, we're done for the night. I am tired. I am hungry. Nashi wants some cuddles. Right, Bubba's? So it's going to end it for the night. I'll probably do a couple other videos on these things. Actually, I might even not. I'm not really sure. Depends on what needs to be done. But for the most part, that's probably it. But yeah, checking things off the list for the family, not me. We will get back to my VR1. I got clutch stuff I still need to do with that. I have ski work I still want to go over, let you guys know. Ski-wise, my thoughts on CNAs, what I run, why I run it. So we still got a couple videos on this here old Black Betty. Let's go get a good view of this thing from this angle. Also, you do not realize how big those rear wheels are until you bring in regular stock sleds, especially these switchbacks. Their little wheels, they only have like, I think they're 7. No, not 7. They're 6. They're like, they look like little pennies compared to these things. So, but that's it. We got a full garage. We're moving and grooving. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I know it's a little bit different than what I normally do, but still some snowmobile work. Season's coming. Hopefully it gets cold out. Hopefully we get some snow here shortly. But that's going to end it for tonight. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to put your bell notification on, make sure to tell your friends, make sure to tell mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, aunts, uncles, whoever. But thanks again for staying tuned, and I'll see you guys in the next one.